It's kind of a song about karma.
Yeah.
It's a song about greed. It's a song about how somebody could be your best friend and your companion and your most trusted person in your life, and then they could go and become your worst enemy.
Blake Lively is allegedly terrified about Taylor Swift's new album.
This is about to be the biggest smear campaign Blake Lively has ever experienced ever in her lifetime. That song is definitely about her ruined relationship with Blake Lively.
So many friends or acquaintances or people were like, they'll see one comment they don't like,
right,
and it will ruin their day, it'll ruin their night. Information is power, I guess, unless all of your information is geared towards you thinking that everything is about you.
Blake Lively is having a total breakdown after her former bestie Taylor Swift completely scorched her in a recent podcast sit-down. Yep, this is the same Taylor who once promised to stay classy and steer clear of Blake drama. Well, that classy chapter is officially closed.
Who wouldn't be terrified when Taylor Swift drops a new album and you've just had a very public beef that has stressed her out for months, stressed her parents out for months, but now she's like, yeah, let's monetize my man's show on YouTube and everywhere else so I can get him some serious views and get him to get some...
Now she's tossing out enough sly shade to make wearing sunglasses mandatory.
Yeah, she teased her new era in the book. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. If you go to page 12, you can see it there. So kudos to her. She's playing, a million moves ahead.
Taylor Swift showing up on Travis and Jason Kelce's New Heights podcast was already headline material, but the way she carried herself proved she wasn't there just to chat football. She unveiled the title of her upcoming 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. While the room filled with laughs and applause, her tone shifted when she casually dropped the phrase, keeping drama out of my business.
They're adorable. Yes. They've always been adorable.
That's why they match so well.
About to do podcast.
One of the hosts teased her, suggesting it sounded aimed at a certain someone. Taylor didn't confirm, but she sure didn't deny it either. Instead, she flashed that knowing smirk she's perfected. Within hours, the internet went wild, dissecting every second of the clip. And one name dominated the theories: Blake Lively.
On the record, it's her 12th album, and number 6 is called Ruined Friendship. I mean, there's no Easter eggs in that.
The speculation didn't fade. It exploded. Fans started pulling old photos, linking subtle digs from past interviews, and pointing out this wasn't just random shade. Blake wasn't just another Hollywood pal. She was inner circle. Taylor is literally the godmother to Blake and Ryan Reynolds' kids.
She had a few things to say, although she didn't talk specifically about what had happened with Blake Lively on the podcast, which I thought, I wouldn't expect her to do that.
For years, they were inseparable. Birthday dinners, award shows, public shout-outs. All the picture-perfect signs of an unshakable Hollywood friendship. Yet now here's Taylor talking about drama like it's a virus she's finally immune to.
She did mention how some of her friends are so thin-skinned when it comes to things written about them on the internet.
Then came the next curveball. Travis Kelce quietly unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram around the same time. No explanation, no statement. But in celebrity circles, a silent unfollow is louder than words. Fans started connecting dots. If Travis is siding with Taylor, does that mean Ryan's riding with Blake?
It seems like to me that she's definitely talking about Blake Lively here. You think everything is about you and every little comment offends you. I mean, that's the reason why this whole lawsuit, as you know, against Justin Baldoni is...
Social media sleuths started piecing together timelines, noticing how these subtle online moves matched perfectly with the podcast drop. It began to look less like coincidence and more like a deliberate dividing line.
Because Blake Lively couldn't deal with criticism. She couldn't deal with people not liking her on the internet, and that's why she sued so many people, ruined so many people's lives.
Digging deeper, insiders whispered that the real rift came from a business deal gone sour. Blake allegedly leaned on Taylor's connections to push her own projects. On its face, not shady, until rumors suggested these weren't casual favors, but private agreements Taylor thought were just between friends.
Lively threatened to expose all the text messages between her and Taylor Swift unless she supported her in public. She also demanded from Taylor Swift that she would delete text messages between them.
The story goes Blake pushed too far, breaking trust in a way no apology dinner could fix. Sources summed up Taylor's reaction in 2 words: exploited and betrayed.
And I think, when you make a diss track about a friendship, you are 100% certain that that friendship is over.
That's why the podcast moment hit harder than a throwaway comment. For someone like Taylor, who usually keeps personal drama under wraps until she's ready to write it into lyrics, even hinting at tension was a massive deal.
And this is about to be the biggest smear campaign Blake Lively has ever experienced ever in her lifetime. Because when Taylor Swift is making a song about you, that spreads like wildfire.
And longtime fans noticed the lack of warmth when she spoke about keeping business clean, as if she'd already cut Blake off and wasn't looking back. The Kelsey unfollow was just icing on the cake, making the rift not just personal, but public.
Taylor went through every single track and explained a little bit about them, not too much though, so we don't know what they're about, but she did explain the titles of them all.
Then TMZ dropped a bombshell, setting the tone for the next headline wave. They reported Taylor won't call Blake out directly. Not in interviews, not in posts, not even in lyrics she couldn't later pass off as fiction. The reason? Their long history and deep family ties. Taylor is, after all, godmother to Blake and Ryan's kids. TMZ framed it as respect for that bond. But the subtext? Taylor knows the power of leaving names unsaid because the internet does the heavy lifting for her.
Every single song is on this album for hundreds of reasons.
And the thing is, when this album hits, the mainstream media can't ignore what's gonna happen.
Next, Daily Mail amped things up, claiming the life of a showgirl is laced with layered Easter eggs about Blake. Subtle enough for denial, but specific enough for fans to feel like code breakers. They pointed to multiple tracks and references from past collabs and events. Some weren't just nods to Blake's career. They allegedly hinted at private incidents only hardcore insiders would catch. Classic Taylor, multi-layered storytelling built for obsessive decoding.
With these songs, because every time Taylor Swift drops an album, everyone is digging into every song, trying to find the meanings behind it, trying to find her Easter eggs and everything.
As soon as those conflicting reports hit, the fan war went nuclear. Swifties versus Blake stans. Twitter became a battlefield. Swifties dug up screenshots from Taylor's music videos and lined them up against Blake's film costumes. Blake defenders clapped back with receipts of their public support for each other, saying the media was spinning the drama. Lyric leaks, whether from credible sources or shady Reddit posts, got dissected line by line. Some Twitter threads stretched thousands of replies deep, cross-referencing outfits, captions, and even champagne glasses in old party photos.
And we don't know what's in that song yet. But I can only imagine, because you might remember I posted a part of an interview or a conversation that Taylor Swift had about her song My Tears Ricochet.
PR pros started weighing in, calling it calculated gold. Two fan bases fueling nonstop speculation equals constant engagement. And that means Taylor doesn't have to spend a dime on promo.
When Taylor Swift was explaining what that song was about, now when you listen to that, it just gives you goosebumps.
Some analysts even projected the hype could push first week global sales into the multi-millions. For perspective, Midnight's moved 1.57 million copies in the US alone its debut week, an almost unheard of number in the streaming era. If Showgirl matches or tops that, The Blake drama could become one of Taylor's most lucrative controversies yet.
Kind of a song about karma.
Yeah.
It's a song about greed. It's a song about how somebody could be your best friend and your companion and your most trusted person in your life, and then they could go and become your worst enemy.
Intro 18. Then came the tracklist leak, and fans went full detective mode. One song title jumped out, The Fate of Aaliyah. To casual listeners, just a cool name. But Swifties instantly clocked it. Aaliyah was Blake's character in Oliver Stone's 2012 movie Savages. That's all it took. Clips from the film trended on TikTok alongside Taylor's fashion choices and Instagram throwbacks. The theory machine went into overdrive.
Who knows how to hurt you because they were once your most trusted person.
The worst.
There's this beautiful moment in the beginning of a friendship where these people have no idea that one day they'll...
Another track, canceled, stirred even more chaos. Fans tied it to the reputational collapse that often follows celeb feuds. The title alone sparked speculation that Taylor was making a pointed statement about someone's downfall. Unsurprisingly, Blake's name kept surfacing, especially with her recent shift in media coverage. The ambiguity only fanned the flames.
I mean, that's really sad and terrible.
Isn't that crazy to listen to now? It's like she knew what was going to happen into the future.
Then came the teaser track, Ruin the Friendship. Sources close to Taylor swear it's a friends to lovers story unrelated to Blake. But the internet wasn't buying it. The phrase itself hit too close to the rumored fallout timeline. Even if the song has nothing to do with Blake, the public has already made the connection. And once planted, that seed won't die easily.
I am so excited about this, you guys. I'm sorry, I feel like Blake really deserves this. She was a terrible, terrible friend. So I think now Ryan and Blake needs to find a new godmother to their 4 children.
And it wasn't just lyrics drawing heat. Swifties zoomed in on the album cover art. The pastel tones and props got dissected like Renaissance symbolism. Some claimed they mirrored Blake's outfits at events she attended with Taylor from 2016 to 2019. A viral tweet pointed to a champagne glass tucked in the corner of the artwork, identical to one seen at a 2018 party at Blake's home, a night rumored to have ended with a heated argument.
Do make me think, yes, some very subtle shade is coming Miss Lively's way. This podcast, by the way, was 1.3 million live viewers.
This kind of forensic fandom didn't stay on Twitter. It spilled into YouTube deep dives, podcasts, and even mainstream news. The discourse itself became a promo engine, keeping Taylor's album in headlines weeks before release. Whether the Easter eggs were intentional almost didn't matter. The perception of hidden messages was enough to keep fans obsessed, and obsessed fans buy, stream, and share nonstop.
And I gotta say, overall, before I get into it, I thought it was kind of cute. I thought seeing them together, it seems genuine. I am rooting for them. I know a lot of people want to hate on these two, but I like how much they seemingly love each other and support each other.
The moment that really made the internet lean forward came mid-interview, when Taylor casually said, "Even if my name is in the headlines, it can still be none of my business." Delivered with just the right weight, the clip exploded across TikTok. For fans tracking the Blake fallout, it was clear Taylor was refusing to acknowledge, let alone validate, anything Blake might have said. The ultimate power move, addressing without addressing.
Will the new album take shots at Blake? And did she say anything last night? Before we get to the clips, she broke the internet again, dropping news. Everybody's reporting this. It's all over.
And she didn't stop there. In another exchange, Taylor criticized people who obsess over negativity and waste time suing over petty reasons. On the surface, a general statement about celeb culture. But Swifties instantly tied it to rumors that Blake once threatened legal action over bad press. Though those suits never materialized, the whispers lingered. Taylor's phrasing, name-free but timeline-specific, was exactly the shade her fans crave.
For various reasons, again, we're going to talk about it, but all the comments came in. I'm just hoping the new Taylor Swift album has at least one Blake Lively diss track.
Then came the viral moment when the host joked that it sounded like Taylor was telling Blake, "Quit dragging your drama into my business." Taylor laughed, smirked even, but crucially didn't deny it. No backtrack, no softening, just that laugh, heavy enough to spark hundreds of reaction clips. Fans instantly looped it into shade-filled TikToks with captions like, "When you say you're unbothered but your laugh says otherwise." Within hours, millions of views cemented the moment as a podcast peak.
Now, TMZ saying it's a huge reach, even though she's known for her snide lyrics about exes and the rift. She is also the godmother of her children, etc. But, she's obviously very upset by the whole dragon thing.
What made it blow up even more was the delivery. Taylor's wording, her pauses, and that sharp emphasis on "my business" turned the sound bites into social media gold. TikTok thrives on ambiguity paired with confidence. And this was textbook. Fans layered her quotes over slow zoom clips, memes, and old photos of her with Blake. The algorithm pushed it everywhere, far beyond just Swiftie feeds.
She was accused of dropping music as her contemporaries to maintain her place at the top of the charts. She was even targeted by President Trump for endorsing Harry.
But the shade wasn't the only fallout. Ryan Reynolds got dragged in too. Just before the podcast aired, eagle-eyed fans spotted Travis Kelce unfollowing Ryan on Instagram. The timing was too perfect to ignore, sparking instant chatter of a friendship split. Taylor and Travis on one side, Blake and Ryan on the other. Considering how public the foursome's friendship has been, double dates, games, parties, the unfollow felt deliberate.
There are Easter eggs in the new album and how she overcame the drama with Blake, and she does in her own way address people who believed in her relationship was a PR stunt.
Hollywood gossip insiders suggested Ryan may have taken Blake's side behind the scenes, something Taylor's camp didn't take kindly to. Tension had apparently been simmering for months after certain industry events where Taylor felt snubbed. If Ryan really did back Blake during the rift, it would explain why Travis risked the headlines by hitting that unfollow.
She kept dropping special editions of albums right as other big artists were releasing their first editions. Billie Eilish released her new album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, and Taylor dropped 2 special editions that same day, which was seen as a direct attack on the competition.
Once the unfollow hit the news cycle, social media did its thing, digging through old archives. Fans resurfaced clips of Ryan and Blake joking about Taylor's love life, dating back to 2016. Once playful, now reinterpreted as shade. A 2018 press joke Ryan made about Taylor needing relationships for album material went viral again, this time landing like a dagger.
But it's no longer the focus of the album because she wanted it to be positive and feel good. You hear that, Blake? She doesn't think you're...
That one unfollow snowballed into a symbolic act, a public line in the sand. To fans, this wasn't just Travis versus Ryan. It was proof of a full-blown celebrity Cold War. Taylor and Travis camp projecting unity, Blake and Ryan standing together, but now under a microscope.
The fate of Ophelia, Elizabeth Taylor, Opalite, father figure, eldest daughter, ruined the friendship. What? Actually romantic, wish list with money signs, would, canceled, honey, the life of a showgirl. Now,
Swifties went full forensic on Blake next. Old interviews resurfaced where she'd seemingly taken light digs at Taylor. A 2018 red carpet remark about needing multiple boyfriends for inspiration. A 2019 talk show laugh at a joke about Taylor's ex of the month. Once harmless, now red flags. When threaded together, those clips sparked the hashtag Blake Lively is over party, trending thanks to Swiftie accounts with millions of followers.
There were some lyric leaks. I'm not going to share them here because she's legally going on lockdown on a lot of them. But reports are saying that if the lyric leaks were true, and the track listing did leak before she released it, if the lyric was, this one actually is about apparently a love song, as in we were friends, now we're ruining our friendship to become lovers, is what I think.
The ripple effects went beyond Stan Wars. Fashion insiders whispered to reporters that brands were quietly rethinking Blake collabs, not because of her style, but because of risk. The Swiftie boycott power is legendary. One luxury label even hit pause on a campaign, fearing narrative baggage. The message was clear. Until the storm passed, Blake was a liability.
This one's ultimately going to be about, well, everyone wants this to be about Blake. It's kind of too on the nose. Canceled lyrics also leaked, and again, hard to tell, but could be aimed at.
Then came a viral comparison thread breaking down the careers of celebs who clashed with Taylor: Katy Perry, Calvin Harris, Karlie Kloss. Into that mix, Blake. The post showed her IG engagement dipping 17%, fewer red carpet invites, and less press buzz and less tied to Ryan. Half gossip, half data. It spread like wildfire, drawing in even journalists and marketers debating coincidence versus consequence.
But the fact that the Savages character is also that, could this be a subtle way, the fate of Ophelia, a subtle way to maybe throw a couple shades at Blake's way?
As if that wasn't enough, gossip blogs and Reddit filled with unverified DMs claiming Blake had been in tears, calling mutual friends the night of the podcast. Some posts alleged she felt blindsided and misrepresented. Whether true or not, the narrative of a rattled Blake fueled the image that she was on defense.